Hello and welcome back. I'm in a creative mode game with lots of flashing lights, sorry about that. And I'm thinking about the basic skeleton for rail production modules. And production all starts with smelting. That's pretty much the beginning of everything. And smelting is something where you just can't do it on a single site with bots. It is possible to do it on a single site with belts, but if you do it with a single site with belts, you end up needing multiple train stations to bring the materials in and take the materials away. So I am going to try and design a bot module for smelting, where you would stamp down a series of these. They would have a shared stacker for incoming outgoing trains, and then the trains would get routed to whichever one is free. Now, because we're dealing with quite a lot of material, I've decided to go with 8 carriage trains. There we are, that's 8. For now I've stuck a locomotive on either end, so it's a 181. That may or may not have the acceleration needed to clear stations and junctions. If it doesn't, I will make it a 282. It's going to be powered by nuclear fuel, so hopefully things will be okay. Right, so this is the basic skeleton of it. There's a station for providing material to be processed, and then there is a station for picking up the processed material. In this case, we're going to be looking at iron smelting. So the drop-off will be of iron ore, and the pickup will be of iron plates. Let's set that to 4K. There we go. Okay, so that's fine. Now, then the question becomes, how do we set things up for the smelting? I've just put down a minimum number of drone ports here to cover the loading and unloading of the trains. And that gives us a distance we can go back within the range of 1 roboport. Now obviously I can add extra roboports out here if I need to add them for charging and what have you. But I don't really want to be building a long way out of this, at least for several of the builds I'm doing. So I just want to keep the drones coming back to the center all the time to recharge. Right. Then there's basically 2 choices about how to lay stuff out. And then from those, there's a couple of decisions you can make. So this is a straightforward 8 beacon build. We have 4 above, 4 below, speed moduled. We have productivity modules in here. This has a requester chest and a provider chest. So there's a variation on this where you stagger. Let's make the variant because we might want to build that as well. Okay, so there's a variant on this where we have a second chest. Let's make sure it's got beacons there. Okay, so they're both outputting there and they are both inputting there. There we go. So that's the other variant on the 8 beacon build. We either repeat these, which have their own chests, or we repeat these, which have shared chests. In the case of iron smelting, it's 1 unit of input, gives you 1 unit of output. There's no compression, so it doesn't really matter which of these 2 chests is closer. For something where the output volume and input volume differ, you'd want to put the higher volume box nearer the center. Okay, so we've got this with shared chests, this with unique chests. Then This is a 12 beacon build with its own chests. So you're wasting 2 squares there, but then an additional 3 there because we couldn't bring that line down. Now there's a variation on this. Let's do this as well for completeness. Where should we put it? Down here. Okay. Well, let's take these 2 beacons out. And move them down 1. There we are. So this is a 10 beacon build. So this fits into the same horizontal space as these 8 beacon builds, but we are losing, these take up the same width as one of the assemblers. So we're losing basically half our assemblers by doing this, by width. Okay, so this is the 12 beacon build with its own chests. This is the same thing turned sideways with this space minimized, so that it's close to the center as possible. The chests are as close to the center line as possible. Then the next one would be where we share our input and output chests between 2 smelters. Now to achieve this, we have to put a gap between these beacons, which means we now have spaces below, a 2x3 below and a 2x3 above. The handy thing about that is a nice space to put a substation into. The problem is it's a lot of empty space, right? And we can turn this design through 180 degrees, again with the minimum space at the bottom, so that the chests are going up the midline. Then we would need to actually put 2 of these back to back, and they need to share a chest in the middle. So we have this is the design with the shared chest. This is the design with the shared chest going upwards. Okay, so the question then becomes really a packing problem. How much performance can we pack into the area around the drone ports, around our trains? And for that, I think the only thing to do is to try and pack it. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so let's take this and we will find a bit of space on the map. Okay, that looks a bit of space, doesn't it? We will power this up because I really don't like flashing lights. Where is the power? There. So we'll just put that there. Okay, these things are not getting powered. For now I'm going to throw in a substation, but that's not really a long-term solution. Where are those? Here. Okay, so we'll need to get rid of those power stations later. So which build should we do first? Well, I think we should do this one first, because it's the simplest build. It's the first one you would think of if you weren't thinking. Okay, and the question just becomes, how many of these can we fit in? So, I need to be that far over. Let's start right on the edge, so that the first chest is on the edge. And then and that last one falls off the end. Okay. I don't know if we're going to... These drones are slightly not even. I don't know if you can see. This just takes in that final signal, that side, and that side misses the final, so overlaps the final signal by 1, so it's a bit generous on that side. Okay, I'm going to trim off one of these because I think we are We're going to have to be quite strict, otherwise we'll get an incorrect number just by how we've laid things out. Okay, so then we would grab this again. Right, that can go above. Now, can it go above again? Are we within... Yes, we are just within Roboport coverage for the third row. Okay, I think it's time to put down power poles. We're going to have to power this with small poles, I think. Okay, and the neat place to put them is through the gaps here. And let's well, yeah, we do have an issue getting these powered. There we are, that's done those. Bit ugly. Okay, let's do the same here. Okay, then we'll do the same here. And for neatness sake, let's take this. We are going to get rid of everything in this except for the poles and just place those down at the back. So they are 1, 2 up. Okay, so that's all right. And we need to actually connect it to the power supply. That. So let's grab this. Oh, we have a problem with the end beacon. Whoop. Yeah, that was daft. And I'm going to keep it consistent for if we ever decide to extend this out further. There we go. So that is 1/2 build. Let's take that and we are just going to flip it. It may not be entirely symmetric if we do that. Well, in fact, it won't be entirely symmetric if we do that, but I think it's close enough. Okay, so that is a build. Right, I've got no idea why that happened. No idea. Maybe it's only taking stuff from my inventory. Well, just in case, let's get a couple of these. Whoops, totally overdid that. Okay, so that sort of thing in the future, if it glitches, should be fixed by my personal drones. Okay, so that is one build. That's our simple, stupid, let's clear all of these because I think, let's take one of those and save it. Right, then I want the backbone with the drones and with the power. Okay, then we're going to move out so that we're definitely not in the same logistics. There we go. And this is independently powered. Yeah, there's no crosstalk with the power. So now we're going to build with this. And let's do essentially the same thing. Okay, so we managed to get a final one in there. The final box exactly fitted. Let's power this up, and then when we clone the row, it'll already be in the right place. Okay, that's our final power pole. I can walk through. That's all right, that is as close as it will go. Right, then our linking one there. Take our row. That fits there. Now, yeah, this only allows us to do 2 rows because the third one isn't in drone range. Okay, so this is going to be a 2-row build. And we need to tidy all this up. We could, of course, add extra drone ports to extend the logistics range, but that's cheating with our current rules. Okay, let's take this. And rotate, get it lined up. There we are. Okay, so that's our second build. It already looks like it's not going to do great. All right. Our third build is the 10 beacon. So let's take our... Is there a reason I didn't remember the backbone? Yeah, I do have the backbone. Okay, put that there. Now I want to take the 10 beacon, which is this one. Cool. Go out all the way. Yeah, that's as far as it will go. Right, there we are. Then I think I can do the same again, but before we do, I'm going to power this up. So that to there, then it's going to be the poles in the gaps. Yep. One of those, 2, and we have 3. I could be neat. I can't be bothered, to be honest. I'll fix back poles if they ever become an issue. Great. And then we can take that, we can clone it and rotate it. And we are fitting the boxes up against the right. That's it. Okay, what's the next build? So that was the 10 beacon, this one down here. This is our 12 beacon with unshared chests. Okay, so let's see what we can do. Start it on the edge, is now traditional. We will power it up as per the others. Copy that over. Oh, I need the power poles at the back. Okay, grab that. We want to position it again so that so the chest is right against the logistics edge. And make sure both sides are powered. Oh, that's not actually linked up. Let's throw down an extra pole. I'll say all this power at the back is a bit of a hack just to get things behaving. Is that not? Alright, there we are. Okay, I feel like I need better legs. So, that was this design. So this is a competing design with the boxes sideways rather than at the bottom. Let's go out and see how much of this we can fit in. Right, so line it up there. That's right on the edge. Clear out rocks and things. You can generate worlds without trees, but you can't generate worlds without rocks. So that's all right. We need to power this all up. That's interesting. Where can I put the power? I think there's the best place. Let's try that. Okay. Put in our link there. Okay, that's actually worked pretty badly. Right, let's strip out those power poles. And try again. Right, so maybe I need to put the power somewhere like that. Okay, I'll need one there. Whoops. That's what happens when you hold down shift when you really shouldn't. Right, now this. Okay, that's a bit of a case of anything that works, works. And we can grab this without the lower poles because they're a horror show. And how many of these can we fit in? Okay, that goes to there. And the third one. Yep. Can we get a fourth one? And the answer is no, because the top of those there, this top chest isn't within logistics range. We don't have two spaces this side to put it in. Okay, so let's strip that away. I know I could do this with a black list rather than a white list, but I'd have to fiddle around with what happened to the beacon. I just can't be bothered. There's a couple of inserts I missed. Okay. And we can replicate this below. And we want to line it up, hopefully, so that we're against the logistics edge this side. Tell you what, we could have fitted a fourth row in if we sacrificed these two beacons. Is that worth trying? Yeah, I think it is. So let's take the whole of this. We are going to sacrifice the build to save the build. Okay, so we can take out this beacon and this beacon. This beacon and this beacon. So let's take the whole of the top here, excluding these. Right. Kill this off. Put it back down. Now, if I've done this correctly, we should be able to fit in a fourth row. Is that right? So that's our strip with one beacon out of place. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so we have a missing beacon. Let's put that back in and Do we have the missing beacon? Yeah, we do. So that needs to be there. Oh, except let's take the whole top, excluding drone ports, because I got a feeling they're going to be offset by 1 or 2 squares. Okay. Get down here so we can actually see the edge. So that's as close as we can go upwards. And that's the edge of logistics. Okay, so this one has allowed us to fit in 4 machines into the gap. This did 3, several of the others did 3, at the expense of 3 machines on each side being slightly under-beaconed, which may be acceptable. Okay, so let's see how many legs I do have. At some point I'll have too many legs to be able to place things. Okay, so that was this build and this build done twice. There's going to be the same trick for each of these, isn't there? Where we lose a couple of beacons to drone ports. Okay, so this is the next one. If I was being sensible, I would start moving the builds around so that they weren't in a straight line, but I kind of want them to be in a straight line later for reasons. Okay, so same sort of thing. That is the edge. Now, I picked up the wrong blueprint because I need the one that tiles. All the way down. So this is the tiled version. Great. Patch of oil. Pity I'm not actually playing this. Right, so up to here. Okay, so the first wrinkle here is we can't fit the final module in. I'm not going to bother with balancing things left and right yet. That's a premature optimization, something which I usually manage to fall into head first. Alright, so where I place this doesn't hugely matter, although it does have to actually be somewhere legal for it to place down. Okay. Let's at least make it consistent. Okay, then nothing is going to hit this second row, is it? Because that doesn't extend below. So I think because we have all the extra space, this is a time to use substations. So let us strip those out. Okay, substations. Now the first one, let's put them above just because. The first one needs to be there just to cover everything. Next one there. Next one there, and then there's no other way around this really. I'll put that down at the edge just for fun. Okay, I'm not quite sure how to... Okay, that's done that. Let's take a blueprint of that whole row. Don't think I need that. Okay. So I can get 2 rows of that in. The 3rd row is well and truly out of beacon range. Then we can duplicate this below. Right, and I'm sticking with my policy of this one is up against the far left of the drone range, this one is up against the far right of the drone range. And again, we could squeeze in an extra repeat by moving these drones around, but that really does seem like cheating at this stage. Maybe if the maths end up being close in the end. Okay, let's put this down. And this is our final build. Maybe I should have paved the world in concrete. Okay, so that is this one. There is actually room, is there? Yeah, there is actually room for the final one, instead of going through the gap, to go up. So if we really want to, we can try and force in an extra column. But with only having 2 rows, I think it's kind of a non-starter anyway. Okay, so let's... Yeah, this is going to be one that has the missing drone port trick. Okay, so we can line this right up there. Let's put these down manually, because we're going to lose a couple of beacons here. Like that. Okay, and then this one is well and truly outside range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So, yeah, so this final box is outside logistics range. However, I think this is legitimate to try and move it back in. So let's pick that up. That's in range. Okay, let's do this with the deconstruction planner. And 1, 2, 3 that side, 1, 2, 3 that right side. And I've not done any of the power-ups for this because, you know, it's a nightmare. Oh, there's room for substations, so it's not a nightmare. Let's do it all with subs. If I wanted a substation there, that powers up a huge chunk of it. Okay. Yeah, and then we'll do the same above, and then I'll add in the required okay, we're kind of stymied there because of our extra inserter. So let's see what we can do. Maybe a case of just spamming these down. Yeah, okay, well, it's not pretty, but it will work. Okay, that powers that up. Let's take this whole thing without the drone ports, without that. And let's zoom in a bit so we can see what's going on. There we are. Okay, and we haven't hooked up this half to the power for reasons of asymmetry. There we are. Okay, do we have any other designs to consider? Of course, I have no. So that's going horizontal with shared boxes. Run all the way down, check that. Yeah, so that is this one. These are the singles of that one. So we have all our builds. So all that's left is for me to throw down a radar so that we're actually able to see everything. Where's the creative radar gone? Somebody's probably screaming at me right now, telling me where it is. So I'm not sure what the difference is between these two. Super Radar 2 and Super Radar. I'm guessing it's the amount of space that it uncovers. Let's put one of those down. Okay. Excuse me. Yep, so we can see everything. That's great. Okay, so we can't see everything. Okay, let's try the next one up. Maybe there's a reason for this. Okay, that has the same line of sight. I reckon that's going to start revealing chunks. Okay, so let's put that down. Now that we have radar coverage, let's run over here and put one down. Okay, so in principle this is all now revealed. So those are our builds. builds, we have this one here. So let's start counting things. This has 48 furnaces. This has 36. This has 56. This has 42. This has 60. This has 60 also. What was... Yeah. This has 80. This has 114. Right, but they're at slightly different rates because they've got different speed bonuses. So really what I need now is max rate calculator. And I'm wondering about if I have time here to go through sorting out the rate of all of these, because it means setting up creative trains. So I don't think I do. So I'm going to stop here. These are the setups we've made. I'm waiting. I've managed to spam the whole world with that, putting down that radar. Right. So these are the builds we've made. We have a bunch of them. They have different numbers of furnaces with different numbers of inserters and different numbers of beacons for the inserters. Sorry, for the furnaces. And genuinely, I don't know which one will, first of all, perform best in terms of throughput, and secondly, perform best in terms of game performance. So there's only one way to find out, which is to find out, and I am going to do that in another episode because we are already on a long one. All right, thanks very much.